Been a while, but it's still time to go wild. It's another edition of the Time to Go Wild Radio podcast. We are available on YouTube and Podbean, also picked up by Google Podcasts and Amazon Podcasts. If you want to contact us, we are available on Facebook or twitter.com/TTGW Radio. You can also email ttgwradio@outlook.com or text us 07849 767755. It's been a little while since the last one. There's still plenty of things to cover. If the teeth are in, you know what to do. Stay with us. It's time to go wild. A very warm welcome to the Time to Go Wild Radio podcast. It's been a few weeks since the last one for umpteen reasons behind the scenes. Apologies to our regular listeners who have been missing out, maybe, on the content, but hopefully tonight we will, or today I should say, we will bundle things up together and catch up on where things have been. Of course, we've had a lot of road games for the YKK Widnes Wild. There's been all kinds of other stuff going on in the background, but, you know, we move on. We look at more recent times. So what have we got? Usual little roundup of things. So may as well get started with the usual little bit. Yep, the most recent scores. We'll go back to Saturday, the 4th of March, and we start with the Elite Ice Hockey League. So from Saturday, Belfast Giants 6, Coventry Blaze 1, Nottingham Panthers 1, Sheffield Steelers 4, Glasgow Clan 4, Fife Flyers 2, Cardiff Devils 5, Dundee Stars 4 after a shootout, Manchester Storm 2, Guildford Flames 9. On Sunday, Sheffield Steelers 3, Manchester Storm 1, Belfast Giants 1, Coventry Blaze 3, Dundee Stars 1, Glasgow Clan 3, Fife Flyers 3, Cardiff Devils 4 after overtime, Guildford Flames 3, Nottingham Panthers 4 after a shootout. Coming to the Planet Ice NIHL National League on Saturday, Basingstoke Bison 0, Milton Keynes Lightning 7, Bristol Pitbulls 9, Raiders 6, Leeds Knights 6, Bees 4, Swindon Wildcats 2, Peterborough Phantoms 1, Telford Tigers 6, Hull Seahawks 4. On Sunday the 5th of March in the National League, Bees 5, Sheffield Steel Dogs 3, Hull Seahawks 1, Swindon Wildcats 6, Milton Keynes Lightning 5, Bristol Pitbulls 4, Peterborough Phantoms 3, Leeds Knights 9. Returning back to the Milton Keynes Lightning 5, Bristol Pitbulls 4, it was actually overtime. So Milton Keynes winning overtime by 5-4. Finally for the National League, Raiders 7, Telford Tigers 4. NIHL Division 1 North Morley from Saturday the 4th of March, Deeside Dragons 2, Billingham Stars 9, Solway Sharks 14, Solihull Barons 3, Widnes Wild 5, Whitley Warriors 2. On Sunday, Billingham Stars 8, Widnes Wild 1, Nottingham Lions 0, Solway Sharks 5, Whitley Warriors 4, Deeside Dragons 2. Moving to NIHL Division 2 North Laidler from Saturday, Bradford Bulldogs 3, Altrincham Aces 4 after a shootout, Coventry NIHL Blaze 1, Sutton Sting 3, Hull Jets 7, Nottingham Lions N2 0. And on Sunday, Altrincham Aces 5, Sutton Sting 7, and Telford Tigers North 2 6, Sheffield Titans 1. And a result we had, of course, on Sunday from the WNIHL Division 2. DM UK Widnes Wild Women 7, Grimsby Wolves 2. And that about concludes things for this edition. Whoa, lots of results there and some very, very big scores. Unfortunately, I've not been able to collate all the WNIHL results together, which I would like to, but as we are all aware, there's been a few things going on behind the scenes with the scores and collating them all together for the WNIHL and other leagues within the EIHA. Hopefully everything will be coming together in the near future. Now, first off, the Widnes Wild ladies. Well, the DM UK Widnes Wild women, I should say. Big game in some ways for them on Sunday because they are fighting tooth and nail for a position in the playoffs. I think if they win the league, they go to the finals weekend to try and gain promotion back up into the what was Premier but is now the D1 league. So it's all to play for, and they've got a lot to push for. And slightly different squad, a couple of big name players in a way missing. Lise Gillen and Katie Fairclough missing from the lineup, but other players did step up. Grimsby opened the scoring at 44 seconds, and then Widnes answered back at 5:57. There are some reasons why I'm not saying the actual players for this game. Then Grimsby answered back at 16:11. So at the end of the first period, it was actually 2-1 to Grimsby. Then Widnes answered back at 28:03, 2-2, and then basically just kept going, 36:07. And then 39 minutes. Went into the second period by 4-2. And then another 3 in the third period, 41-43, 46-51, and 52-14. And that was the final score of 7-2. The Widnes goals coming from Preston Janot, Laura Marcroft, Vanessa Crickmore-Clark, Linda Decker, and Ellen Tyra. They were the main goal scorers for the Widnes Wild women. Took them a while to get going, bit slow out the blocks, but came good in the end. So still making sure they're putting up a big push to get into the end of season women's finals weekend. Mixed weekend for your YKK Widnes Wild Saturday. I don't think many people would have predicted the result. Widnes winning by 5-2 against the Whitley Warriors. And it was an unusual game in that there was very low penalty minutes as well. I think it was some point in the second period before we actually recorded any penalties as well. Normally, you'd expect a much more physical, I don't know, it wasn't a bad performance, but from Whitley, it was an unusual performance, I'll say, from previous experience. And Widnes managed to capitalise. I mean, you can only play against the side you've got against you, and came out by 5-2 winners. Unfortunately, a trip up to Billingham on Sunday went down by 8-1, but Billingham really making a big push at this point to try and secure second place in the league. And in a way, places make playoff positions, so depending on where you finish will depend who you get in the playoff quarterfinals. In the other leagues, some big scores. Manchester Storm falling by 9-2 at home to the Guildford Flames on Saturday. Belfast putting 6-1 against the Coventry Blaze. The National League, some very big scores. Basingstoke going down at home to Milton Keynes by 7-0. Ooh. I mean, being shut out at home is never nice, but that is big. Bristol beat V Raiders 9-6. It's like, what was it, a shooting gallery? It's a lot of goals. Peterborough against Leeds on Sunday. Peterborough 3, Leeds 9. Lots of goals scored there. The biggest result of the weekend, I think, goes to, well, I'll say title holders in, well, almost crowned, the Solway Sharks in Division 1 North Morley on Saturday, hammering the Solihull Barons up in Dumfries by 14 goals to 3. Ouch. And then going down to Nottingham on the Sunday and winning by 5 goals to 0. So Nottingham Lions shut out at home by Solway. And we'll be looking at the table shortly to compare that and see how that's made the standings look. Big result on Saturday in Division 2 North Laidler. Hull Jets beating the Nottingham Lions N2 by 7 goals to 0. And the other one, another big goal-scoring game, or 2 of them actually on Sunday. Altrincham 5, Sutton 7. Big scores. And Telford Tigers North 2, 6. Sheffield Titans 1. So a lot of big scoring games. Nobody's easing up at this point in the season. We didn't get any interviews after the game on Sunday, of course, because the YKK Widnes Wild were up in Billingham. However, I did catch up with MVP for the YKK Widnes Wild, Jacob Corson-Heron, after the match against Whitley Bay on Saturday. And this is what he had to say.
Before he sneaks out on me, I managed to catch our MVP, Jacob Corson-Heron. Well, Jacob, a game against the Whitley Warriors, you generally know what you're going to expect. Did you expect that one tonight?
To be fair, that's the first time I played Whitley, but we were told before the game that they were going to press, forecheck hard. But to be fair, I felt like they did that, but I felt like tonight we just played really, really consistent. We didn't take any stupid penalties tonight. I think not spending the game on the penalty kill for an extra about 10 minutes has made a massive difference to this game tonight. I think that's the main issue that we resolved tonight. And yeah, we just did the right things, dumped the puck, chased it, won the battles. Yeah, we didn't do any selfish stuff tonight.
And it was a very nice, free-flowing game. It wasn't interrupted for very few penalties. I think the first penalty was some point in the second period. The first period flowed very quick. And both teams were passing and flowing.
Yeah, definitely. To be fair, we've not had that referee before, but that's probably the best ref game we've had. I remember him being a linesman years ago when I was still playing for Phoenix. But yeah, he did a great job tonight. And to be fair, tonight both teams just played ice hockey. It wasn't until that last little hit on Reese. There wasn't any stupid stuff behind the play. It was just a good game of hockey.
And it's very entertaining for the fans. I'm in skill from both teams. Lots of clean passing, the right kind of checking, and everybody just trying to drive. I mean, some of the saves from both goaltenders, particularly some of the clearances in front of Miles and some of his saves tonight, phenomenal.
Yeah, we that's one thing we watched in video about the D-side game where they scored, I think, four of their 5 goals was just in front of ours. It wasn't like a shot from the slot. It was literally a goal mouth scramble and they got the finish. So that's one thing we had to work on, and we have done, to be fair. I think the main thing we've got to do now is just continue how we played tonight for the rest of the season into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a couple of away games and then one last league game here in a few weeks' time, and they're tough ones. They're tough fixtures against teams high up the table.
Yeah, but I think if we play like that, I genuinely think when we play well, we stayed in a game with Solway twice. We've done that twice now, so we know if we turn up, we're going to do well. And if we don't turn up, we won't. So it's just about the leaders in the changing room keeping it. I feel like sometimes we're a bit too loose before games. And I think that's one thing when we play against better teams, we actually are a bit more nervous, a bit more concerned about the opponents, and we actually try harder. So we just need to do that. We just need to be a bit more honest with it.
I think this is the first proper time I had a chance to catch you. I mean, you sort of came out a bit of a retirement. You're having a bit of a break from playing, and you've come to Widnes. Your impressions of the place, the whole atmosphere, and everything we've got.
Yeah, to be fair, so had 6 years out, and then I just thought I tore my ACL, and then that's why I retired, just because that was the second time. And then I have basically just got the bug this year again. Thought I'd come back, give it one more kick at the can, and yeah, Widnes is a club I've actually kept an eye on, just because they're a good run little club. I was so surprised with how many fans we get and stuff like that. It's to be fair, I bet you it's not far off what the Phoenix used to get in that last couple of years. It's amazing what they're doing here. So yeah, hopefully it can continue.
It is a surprise. I mean, this is our 10th season. Next year will be the 10th anniversary, and a club with a rink the size of Widnes, we do well. Some weeks, I mean, particularly last week against Deeside, it was rammed, and you can feel it.
Yeah, massively. What was there last week? Nearly 700. Yeah, it was unbelievable that. I wasn't expecting that at this level, and the fans here are really loud. It is amazing. So let's just keep the barn full and keep going.
Well, it's going to be a couple of weeks before we're back here, but you're on the road, so that was a bit Callum crashing the interview, but we'll wish you well, safe trip home, and we'll catch up with everyone in a couple of weeks' time when we're back here at Widnes.
Perfect, thank you.
Thanks, Jacob. It was great catching up with you, and I think that's the first proper interview we managed to catch with him. And the team worked so hard all weekend. It was a tough game. Both teams were playing hard and fast, and it could have gone either way at times, but the Widnes Wild managed to capitalise and take the win on that one. Unfortunately, events up in Billingham went the other way on the Sunday, but Billingham really aren't making a big push for things. So, why not have a quick look at the tables? As we start first with the Elite Ice Hockey League. As we start down at the foot of the table as usual, Dundee Stars in 10th position, 44 games and 25 points. Then we have the Five Flyers, 9th position and 47 games and 30 points. Glasgow Clan in 8th, 50 games, 33 points. Manchester Storm in 7th, 46 games and 40 points. And the Nottingham Panthers just staying above in 6th, 44 games, 40 points as well. Coventry Blaze in 5th, 44 games and 56 points. Sheffield Steelers in 4th, 45 games and 66 points. Cardiff Devils in 3rd, 46 games, 68 points. Guildford Flames in 2nd, 44 games and 68 points. And the Belfast Giants currently riding at the top of the table, 46 games, 71 points. And the teams that have qualified for the Elite League playoffs at the moment are, starting in 5th, it's Coventry, then Sheffield, Cardiff, Guildford and Belfast. So they've definitely qualified. We're just waiting on the others to be confirmed. As it stands, I mean, the gap between the Nottingham Panthers and the Manchester Storm versus the Coventry Blaze of 16 points, that's quite a gap. But then there's another 10-point gap to the top 4. Quite a bit of a step there in the Elite League. One extra note is that we had the Elite League Challenge Cup final, which saw the Belfast Giants, currently top of the table, taking on the Five Flyers, who were 9th in the table. The Belfast Giants came out 9-4 winners on the night, but an unusual setup there. Somehow, cup games, anything can happen. Belfast first, Fife 9th in the table. Either one could have happened. It could have been a giant killing in that one. But in the end, Belfast came out. So congratulations to the Belfast Giants on winning the Elite League Challenge Cup. Moving on now to the EIHA NIHL National League table. And we have the Hull Seahawks at the moment still in the 11th position, 50 games, 24 points. But they are chomping on the heels of the Bees, 48 games and 25 points in 10th position. Then a jump to Bristol in 9th place, 48 games and 32 points. Above them in 8th, Basingstoke Bison, 47 games and 36 points. Telford Tigers in 7th, 49 games and 37 points. The Raiders in 6th, 48 games, 52 points. Swindon Wildcats in 5th, 49 games, 60 points. Sheffield Steel Dogs in 4th, 48 games and 63 points. Peterborough Phantoms in 3rd, 48 games, 72 points. Milton Keynes Lightning in 2nd with 48 games and 78 points. And at the top of the shop, the Leeds Knights, 47 games and 82 points. And the teams that have genuinely qualified for the end of season playoffs are, starting in 6th, it's Raiders, then Swindon, Sheffield, Peterborough, Milton Keynes and Leeds. They've all qualified for the end of season playoff competition. Still some places up for grabs. But when you look at it at the moment, no one's actually won the league yet. But at the moment, everybody from Sheffield Steel Dogs, so 4th down, can't win the title. Because the maximum points for Sheffield Steel Dogs is 79 points. And the Leeds Knights are currently on 82 points. So basically Sheffield and below can't overtake the Leeds Knights. But Peterborough, Milton Keynes and Leeds are still all in with a shot at the title for the NIHL National League. Move down, quick jump down to the Division 2 North Laidler League. And as it stands, you've got the Nottingham Lions N2, 24 games and 11 points in 8th. Bradford Bulldogs in 7th, 23 games, 15 points. Sheffield Titans in 6th, 23 games and 17 points. Coventry NIHL Blaze in 5th, 25 games and 22 points. Altrincham Aces in 4th, 26 games and 26 points. Sutton Sting in 3rd, 23 games and 29 points. Telford Tigers North 2 in 2nd, 23 games and 40 points. And the Hull Jets currently top of the shop, 23 games and 42 points. And the top 3 currently have qualified for the end of season playoffs. It's Sutton, Telford and Hull. Just the 4th place to decide. And at the moment, it's it could be... Yeah, it's between 3, but Sheffield could be an outsider because they can get a maximum of 27. You've got Coventry and NIHL Blaze, you've got a possible maximum of 28, but the Altrincham Ace is very much in the driving seat with a maximum possible of 30 points, and they're on 26 as it stands. So, 2 wins and Altrincham qualify for the end of season playoffs, but the league title isn't sewn up yet. There's still some points to play for in the maximum points. It's between 2. It's between the Telford Tigers North 2 and the Hull Jets. Telford on 40 points with a maximum possible of 50, and the Hull Jets on 42 points with a possible maximum of 52. Sutton Sting have just about missed out. They've got a maximum possible of 39, which puts them 1 point below the current points of the Telford Tigers. So it's a 2-horse race at the top of Laidler. The big one for all the YKK Widnes Wild fans out there, it's the league positions as it stands. So at the moment, Sheffield Scimitars in 9th. 28 games and 3 points. Nottingham Lions in 8th, 28 games and 10 points. Blackburn Hawks in 7th, 28 games and 20 points. Making a surge, the Deeside Dragons, 26 games and 23 points. Widnes Wild in 5th, 29 games, 32 points. Solihull Barons in 4th, 26 games, 35 points. Whitley Warriors have dropped to 3rd, 27 games and 41 points. Just above them in 2nd, but they've played 29 games with 42 points. It's the Billingham Stars. And top of the shop, the Solway Sharks, 27 games and 51 points. In terms of qualification for the playoffs, the top 7, Blackburn, Deeside, Widnes, Solihull, Whitley, Billingham and Solway have all qualified. It's going to be a big ask, I think, for the Sheffield Scimitars. They could get 11 points, which takes them 1 point above the current points of Nottingham. They're currently on 10. But Sheffield's maximum possible is 11. Nottingham's maximum possible is 18. With the games to play, it's a tough ask at the moment. Sadly, the poor Sheffield Scimitars have not had the kind of season we'd normally expect from them. But every team can have a bad year. This year it's the Sheffield Scimitars, but no doubt they will come back strong next year. As for the league, well, maximum possibles. The top three, we'll start with second place Billingham Stars, maximum possible of 48 points. Whitley Warriors, maximum possible 51 points. But that makes it level with the Solway Sharks, who are currently on 51 points. They have a maximum possible of 61. Basically, the Solway Sharks are one teeny thin bit of paper away from the D1 North Morley title. They've basically got the title. It's just a matter of they need 1 point and it's completely secured. So there you go. The Morley table, basically as it stands, it's Solway who are not quite, almost the title holders for the league this year. However, the playoff quarterfinals as it currently stands, first is Solway, 8th is Nottingham. That's the first draw. The second draw, Billingham are currently second. They're currently could face the Blackburn Hawks. Whitley Warriors currently in third, could face the Deeside Dragons. And the Solihull Barons in fourth could face your YKK Widnes Wild, who are in fifth. However, there's still a bit of shim to do within the league. Anything could happen. Teams could jump, teams could slide. Whitley have 2 games in hand on Billingham, and they're only a point behind. So second and third is anything but secure. Solihull, realistically, will they go above 4th position? Maybe. My prediction is probably not. YKK Widnes Wild, currently in 5th position. My thoughts, don't think they go much higher. Deeside Dragons have been very much of a late surge. Could push for that 5th position. They can't go any higher than Solihull in 4th because their max possible is 35. Solihull already on 35. So that's sort of where Deeside's maximum place could be 5th. Widnes could be 4th. Solihull potentially could shoot as high as 2nd if they win all the games. But of course, it all depends on other teams. Blackburn could potentially go up as high as 6th again. And Nottingham basically are just waiting to confirm the 8th position. So everybody from Blackburn in 7th, Deeside, Widnes, Solihull, Whitley, Billingham and Solway have all qualified for the playoffs. We're just waiting on basically the confirmation for the Nottingham Lions. And then it all comes down to who you play against. So the table is very, very much, for the Morley League, it's almost solidified. The title, well, we know where it's going. We pretty much know where that's going. But the one thing that isn't decided yet is the Morley Cup. And as I quickly find the fixtures. There we go. Fixtures. The cup final between Solway and Billingham, so currently first against current second, is Friday the 10th and Saturday the 11th of March. So, coming up at the weekend on Friday at 8 p.m. Yes, a late one and unusual for the D1 League. a Friday fixture, but we've got so much fixture congestion. Solway take on Billingham up in Dumfries on Friday. Then on Saturday, Billingham host Solway in the second leg of the final. And then both teams also play on Sunday, ironically, where Billingham will travel down to Solihull and Solway will be at home. And the Solway game on Sunday is against your YKK Widnes Wild. So both Billingham and Solway will have 3 games in 3 days, which is quite unusual for this level. So yes, it's going to be busy. There's going to be a lot of tired legs, and we will see which team is the fittest in the end. It's going to be a tricky one. Going to be very, very tricky. You can hear me rustling some bits of paper. We should quickly do a couple of other little bits of news. So, some recent ones. The EIHA are pleased to announce that they have agreed the services of the Sports and Recreation Alliance to assist with a club governance project made possible thanks to funding from Sport England. And details of that are on the EIHA website. And the England under-13s have enjoyed success on a trip to Quebec. So they were in the England national team program enjoyed a successful trip to Quebec last month to compete, I should say, in the Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament. So the under-13s boys and girls both competed in the Pee Wee competition with 38 players, 19 boys and 19 girls, having a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to compete against teams from around the world in Canada. And all the details, again, are on the EIHA website. So that looked like a fantastic, fantastic event. And, congratulations to everyone who was able to take part. You may have also seen a lot of retro jerseys coming out recently. And with the Elite League, at least, there's a lot of the teams have released, and some have played in theirs. So you've got jerseys from Fife, Guildford, Coventry and Dundee. They've gone back to sort of the old British National League style design. Coventry's might also hark back to just before they joined the British National League as well. So their designs are all based on those sort of colours and layouts. Then you've got Cardiff, Manchester and Nottingham with Cardiff and Nottingham is probably an ex-British Hockey League pre-BNL ISL days. And then you've got Belfast with their sort of dark leafy green with Belfast across the middle. And I saw today that the Sheffield Steelers have also released their retro jersey, which harks back to their very, very early seasons. I think it's a BHL style, so pre-ISL style Fists of Steel logo from the Sheffield Steelers. And one more little piece of news. Great Britain captain Jonathan Phillips is set to retire at the end of the season. Jonathan Phillips currently with the Sheffield Steelers, but his main career started back in apparently it's the British National League back in 97-98, which is the year before I first started watching, with the Cardiff Rage. He then moved to the Cardiff Devils in the Ice Hockey Super League between 1999 and 2001. A season at the Basingstoke Bison in the British National League in 2000 to 2001. The Milton Keynes Kings for a year between 2001 and 2002. The Cardiff Devils were in the British National League for a year, so between 2002 and 2003 he was there. Then he played a little bit. He played one game for Peterborough in the EPL in the 03-04 season, but probably just before he rejoined the Cardiff Devils in the Elite League from 2003 to 2006, before moving to the Sheffield Steelers in 2006 to present. So his biggest stint with any club has been with Sheffield. He's been their captain for many years. He also played 8 games for the Passau Blackhawks in German OBL in 2020-2021. But there you go, the end of an era for Jonathan Phillips. who is retiring at the end of the season. So, many years of hard work, graft, passion, and commitment from him, and we thank him for all of that. And he will be missed, but no doubt he will be around in other capacities with ice hockey. It is a shame. You've also probably seen the news through Twitter and Facebook that one of our own YKK Widnes Wild players is considering, I will say, based on a latest poster that was put out, considering hanging up his blades at the end of the season. That's our own number 9, King Ken Armstrong. He's thinking about it, but sometimes players think of hanging up their boots and then they get a bit twitchy. In fact, one of the referees who was with us, the referee, Roy Hamilton, who was refereeing the game against Whitley Bay on Saturday in Widnes. I've known Roy for must be 20 years or more, and he said, we were having a chat before the game, he said, I haven't seen you for a while, and he's like, yeah, I've retired twice. I went, retired? Really? Nah, can't happen, never gonna happen. He just started laughing. So sometimes you try to retire and you end up getting brought back. The wonders of ice hockey. It's just one of those things, isn't it? So, where does that leave things for this week? Well, time for our final closing remarks-ish bit as we go with our usual reminder. Everything for your YKK Widnes Wild, you can find it on widneswild.co.uk. Also, the social media outlets, facebook.com or twitter.com/WidnesWild. Instagram.com/WidnesWild official. Our YouTube page portal, which is youtube.com/WidnesWild Ice Hockey Club. And, of course, if you want to see about the Own and Loan shirts, podcast information, highlights, tickets for games, etc., 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 they're all available on there. And, of course, we thank our sponsors, title sponsor YKK, home penalty box sponsor Fresco Environmental, and of course our other valued sponsors, Sprakes & Son of Widnes, MPG Maintenance Property Services, Crosscheck Clothing, Putt Drop, the University of Salford with their valued medical cover, and our charity, of course, is the Halton Haven Hospice. And we thank all of them for their support over the season, and we thank all of you, our loyal supporters. And I say that not just of Widnes, but across all of ice hockey. Every team thanks its supporters, because you are so valued, and without you, it's just so much better, so much different. It's wrong without the fans. We need you, and it's what makes the game that much better. So we thank all the fans out there. Right, March fixtures to basically take us up to the end of the main league season for the NIHL Division 1. So, Saturday the 11th of March, the Nottingham Under-18s will be hosting Widnes Under-18s on Saturday, and Bradford Under-12s are hosting the Widnes Under-12s face-off times I don't have available. On Saturday also, our Widnes Under-10s are at home in cross-ice action at 4:15, followed by the Widnes Under-14s hosting Leeds Under-14s, and that'll be around about 6 p.m. On Sunday, the Solway Sharks will be hosting your YKK Widnes Wild. Now, the face-off time I've got here is 7 p.m, but please check your outlets to make sure that fixture time is correct. I will be checking that as well right now. Just bear with me. You can hear me clicking my keyboard in the background because I think I saw something. Now, according to this on the YKK Widnes Wild website, it is 4:30 p.m, so I think that game has been brought forward. So Solway v Widnes on Sunday, I think from our own website, is now saying it is at 4:30 p.m. up in Solway. Because I remembered seeing something about the face-off time and the travel bus. Yes, the fixture has been updated. It is officially 4:30 p.m. YKK Widnes Wild will be in Solway, up in Dumfries, to face the Solway Sharks. If you want travel, check out the Widnes Wild and Widnes Wild fans related social media outlets. We also have rec hockey action on Sunday back at Planet Ice Widnes. So we have the Earl Road Elks taking on the Kingston Reapers at 4:15, and then we have more with the Cheshire Pistons taking on the Blackburn Renegades at 6:15. So if you're not going up to Dumfries, come down to Planet Ice Widnes. It'll be free to enter. Come and give two of our local rec teams some support. So Earl Road Elks and Kingston Reapers at 4:15, and then the Cheshire Pistons and the Blackburn Renegades at 6:15. Moving on to Saturday the 18th of March, the Wild Academy Under-14s host Solihull at 4:20, and then the Wild Academy Under-18s face Nottingham at 6 p.m. Meanwhile, the Sutton Under-16s will be taking on our Wild Academy Under-16s. Face-off time I don't have available at the moment. Then on Sunday, the 19th of March, Blackburn Hawks will host your YKK Widnes Wild at 6 p.m. And down the road in Altrincham, the Manchester Under-14s will take on the Widnes Under-14s. The face-off time I have for that is 6:45, but I will be checking that in the meantime. Then the final weekend of the season. On Saturday, the 25th of March, the Sutton Under-18s will be hosting our Widnes Under-18s. The face-off time I have for that is 11:50, but please check for confirmation. We have the Under-10s in cross-ice action in Bradford on Saturday, the 25th of March at 4 p.m. Now, the next two fixtures are subject to confirmation because due to a fixture rearrangement, there are two academy fixtures I have penciled in for the 25th of March. One was for under-12s, one was for under-14s. I'm not sure which are going ahead at present, so those fixtures we will get confirmed. But one that is going ahead, which is the final game of the league season, and it could be a crunch one, in fact. The YKK Widnes Wild will be hosting the Solihull Barons at Planet Ice Widnes. Now, current face-off time for that is 7 p.m. And yeah, that is still on our website. So that is Saturday the 25th of March. The YKK Widnes Wild will host the Solihull Barons. That's our final league game of the season, and that's at 7 p.m. That's the final game of the Wild League, but there is still another game on the Sunday. Sunday 26th of March, the Widnes Wild Women, our DMUK Widnes Wild Women will take on the Solway Sharks Ladies at 4:15, I should say. Teeth are loose. 4:15. That again could be a very, very important game. It could be a deciding game or a pivotal game for the women to get up to that top spot to make it to the finals weekend. So that about rounds up the fixtures for another edition. As you can see or hear and gather by the length of it, it's been a long one because there's been quite a few things to cover this time out. Again, apologies for the lack of podcasts over the last couple of weeks. A few things behind the scenes have meant that time hasn't been available. But we hope to try and bring you one, if not next week, the week after. And it's going to be busy because we've got playoffs due. The actual dates haven't been released yet by the EIHA. Unfortunately, that is something way, way out of my control. I can only bring you the dates when they are confirmed. So keep your eyes out on social media, club websites, the EIHA website, and hopefully the fixture dates, times, costings, etc., for all of the playoffs within the EIHA playoffs, which will be the National League, Division 1 North and South, Division 2 North and South venues, etc., will all be confirmed within the next week or so, I hope. I'm only guessing on when they're going to be released. So I can only say, for now, that about rounds up another edition of the Time to Go Wild Radio podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the content. Again, if you want to contact me throughout the week, you can do through the Facebook or Twitter links. That's facebook or twitter.com/TTGW Radio. Email ttgwradio@outlook.com or text 07849767755. For another edition of the Time to Go Wild Radio podcast, thank you for listening. Hope you'll join us for the next one. Till then, I can just say enjoy your hockey as usual wherever you get it. From me, for another week at Time to Go Wild Radio. Catch you soon. Till then, ta-da!